Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hogue, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
Hi, I'm AJ Hogue, the author of Effortless English, Learn to Speak English Like a Native. Join one of my courses at effortlessenglishclub.com. That's effortlessenglishclub.com. So, you worry about being nervous when you speak. In a conversation, if you're nervous, if you are worried about making mistakes, maybe you have a job interview, and also that makes you very nervous, right? Or of course, public speaking. But even just going and talking to people in a conversation can make you feel kind of nervous. And the problem is when you get nervous like that, you can really look nervous and you can look weak, right? And you know that that's going to hurt your communication. It's going to hurt your goals. People will not respect you the same if you look weak and nervous. And people won't... they won't listen to you as much. They won't believe you as much. They'll have more negative ideas about you. All of this when you look weak and nervous, when your communication is weak and nervous. And here's the thing, like how do you stop that? What creates the weakness? See, the problem is a lot of people, they focus on just the words. Oh, if I make a grammar mistake, oh, if I make a pronunciation mistake, it will look bad. But actually, that's not what the big problem is. See, words communicate ideas, and they can communicate emotions too. But the big thing that communicates and shows your emotion is body language. Right? Body language makes a very big difference. Nonverbal communication, meaning not words. Nonverbal communication is extremely important because your emotions come out in your body language. Even if you don't want them to, they come out. So you might use perfect words. You might speak English fluently. You might have good pronunciation even. In a job interview, you might say the right things. In a speech, you might give a good speech. The actual content, what you say, might be very good. But if inside you're afraid and nervous, and if you let that come out in your body language, you will destroy your communication. People will see that you're nervous. They will see you as weak. They will not respect you. They will not listen to you. You will not get the job if it's a job interview. Your presentation will be terrible. All of these things caused by body language. Body language is super important. Now, of course, so is the tone of your voice. I'll talk about that in another show. But today I just want to talk about body language. Body language communicates emotion. And the problem is it's hard to, when you're actually talking, especially in English, you're speaking a foreign language, it's hard to think about what you're doing with your body. And that's why, while you're thinking of your words, some really bad things might be happening with your body language. So you saw, as I opened the show, if you're listening to this only, to the audio, you didn't see it, but you could probably even hear it in my voice. But you saw, and I'm looking down the whole time doing my show. I mean, that's just terrible, right? Again, I'm exaggerating to show you how bad it can be. But just imagine, okay, I'm talking to you, we're at a party, and if am I looking down the whole time as I talk, and I'm never looking in your eyes, or almost never. It looks weak, right? It looks terrible. Terrible. It doesn't matter how good my English is. It doesn't matter how good my words are. If I'm looking down, if my shoulders are kind of down and forward, I look weak. I look fearful. I look unconfident. You won't respect me. In a job interview situation, man, that's just terrible, right? So the interviewer is going to be looking at you, and he or she will be just thinking, you're not confident. They'll just feel that you're just not good. Even if your resume is great, even if your job experience is great, even if everything else is great, and even if you give great answers, but if you do the answers looking like this, looking with your head down and shoulders, then that's not good. Right? The nonverbal communication is weak. That is a disaster. And in a public speech, well, it's horrible, because then you're standing on a stage, everybody sees you, and if you're doing that, horrible, right? Everybody will just feel terrible. They'll feel that you are a terrible speaker. They might be nice, hopefully they'll be nice to you, but they just won't respect you. So this is important. You have got to change your weak body language. Now, the good news is you can do it. You can train yourself to do it. More good news is it's actually quite simple. What you need to do is simple. The hard part is remembering to do it while you're speaking, right? Because what happens is you start focusing on your words, you concentrate on the words, and then you forget about your body, and then your bad habits come, or maybe your nervousness or your negative emotions start taking control of your body. Right? You don't even realize it, and you think you're saying good things, you're focused on your words, but then your shoulders start coming down and forward, and you start looking down more. And you can even do other things too, like these, like with your arms crossed, which just looks like you're a little bit worried or nervous. Movement, also certain kinds of movement, if you're kind of moving back and forth too much like this, all of these things are very weak. So you got to train yourself to do just a few simple things. More good news. You do not have to be perfect, okay? I'm going to give you some ideas. In future shows, I'll do more about this, body language and gestures and things. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect either. I have a few little body language bad habits that I'm still working on. I'll watch myself on video giving a speech, and I'll see something that I'm doing like, ooh, that doesn't look so good. That looks kind of weak. So I still have a few bad habits too, but I'm much better than I used to be. And you also can be. So let's talk about some general ideas about body language, and then I'll give you specific examples. First of all, you want strong body language usually. In most situations, you want to appear confident. So strong body language. One principle, open body language is stronger, right? You can see if I'm opening my body, like see my chest comes out and up, my arms open up, they're not crossed in front of me, they're not in front of me. This looks defensive, this looks more like I'm nervous or weak. But when you open yourself up, shoulders back, chest out, this is open. First of all, it looks friendly also, but it also looks strong. So two good things, stronger and friendlier both when you open. Same with your hands. What's interesting is if the backs of your hands are facing other people, right? You're talking to people. If they see the back of your hands, it's weaker. But if they see the open part of your hand, the palms of your hands, that's stronger. Again, it's more open. It looks more trusting, more open, more friendly, and also stronger. So, open body more, and open gestures. So open hands and open arms, same thing. Now I have to think about this sometimes, because I have sometimes a bad habit. We all do. If you get tired, you'll let your shoulders drop a little bit and your chest will kind of drop down. Looks a little bit weaker. I have to remind myself to straighten up and open up sometimes. Another thing I do is sometimes I have my elbows will be against my body. That also is weaker. It looks better if your elbows stay out away from your body, at least a little bit. Again, because it's more open. That's a stronger, more open body language. So in general, open, hands open, arms out and open more, chest up and out. Everything open is stronger, friendlier. That's okay sometimes to, drop down, but I'm just saying in general, most of the time, try to be open. Now, of course, what's the opposite of that? Closed. So closed is when if you're keeping your hands more in front of you instead of out open. This is kind of weaker. It looks defensive. It looks like you're trying to guard yourself, protect yourself, which communicates the emotion or the idea that you're maybe a little worried or afraid. So you don't want to do that too much. A little bit, you can do it, but just be careful. Now, I mentioned shoulders, so another general principle is up. Up is usually better than down. Power English users, those of you who have my Power English course, the beginning of every lesson I'm saying shoulders back, chin up. Up, 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 because up is a stronger body language position. It'll make you feel better. You actually inside will feel a little stronger and more confident when you change your body language, but also on the outside, other people looking at you, you will look stronger, you will look friendlier, you will look more confident. So keeping that chin up and not down, because even with eye contact, if I put my chin down and I'm looking at you still, right, it doesn't look good. It looks weak still. But as I raise my chin up, eye contact with you, that looks a lot stronger, more confident. So up. And again, shoulders also, you want back and up a little bit. This is kind of a posture thing. So if you have bad posture, like I do, because I usually do have bad posture, this is something you might have to think about a lot. You've got to train yourself to do this. So shoulders back. So up is another general principle. Eyes, very important. Eyes are one of the most important parts of body language, nonverbal communication. And again, you want those eyes up, looking into other people's eyes. Direct eye contact, very important, right? You don't want to be looking down at people's stomach when you talk to them. And you definitely don't want to be looking down at their shoes, because then you look super weak. So eyes up, chin up, and eyes up. Now, some people in some cultures are less comfortable with eye contact. I'll give you a few tricks. You can look here, right? Between like the forehead, kind of between the eyes. If you feel uncomfortable looking directly in the eyes, then you can look between, right there. Right? Kind of at the top of the nose, between the eyes, or right around the eyebrows. It still looks like you're giving eye contact, but maybe you'll feel a little more comfortable doing that. In a larger group, like giving a public speech, what you're going to do is you're going to make eye contact with different individuals in the room. I'll talk about this because there's some techniques you can use in public speaking. I'll do that in a future show. But just in general, think that as you talk, you're looking individual members of the audience in the eyes. So you're making real eye contact. Some public speakers, they tell you, or some books or courses, they tell you to look at the back of the room, at the wall. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. It doesn't look good. If you're just looking at the back of the room the whole time, everyone feels like you're looking over their head. There's no connection. And of course, you don't want to look down at the floor either. So you want to be actually making eye contact with different people in the audience constantly as you talk. In a job interview, eye contact again. So we got up, up, up. Now, what about movement? What about gestures? Well, in general, don't think too much about your gestures. Don't overthink it. If you overthink it, they will look weird. There's actually a guy named Brian Tracy. I like Brian Tracy. He's a very good guy. I like his books. He's a really good writer. He's a motivator, business person. He's a good speaker. But I have to say, the guy has really strange gestures. They look totally unnatural. Okay? They look weird to me. They don't look weak. They're not weak, but they look unnatural and weird. And I think it's because he's thinking too carefully, like he's consciously planning every single gesture. Every gesture looks like he is planning it, telling you exactly what he's going to do. But every gesture is consciously planned. It looks kind of like that when I see him speak on video, and every time I think, oh, that looks weird. Okay, so you don't want that. You don't want to like a robot gesturing. You want your gestures to come from your natural emotion and energy. Okay, so let your arms move kind of freely. Just have a general thought: open, open, open. Okay, so your gestures aren't here in front of your You're fake.